Every year, around 5,000 little lives are killed in their mother's womb in South Australia. 79 healthy babies have suffered feticide in the third trimester since 2021. These are babies that even at the time of their death could have had a chance of survival outside of the womb. The law allows killing of babies in utero for any reason. In South Australia, you and New South Wales as well actually have protections over the care of babies who survive abortions, but I would hate to think that under the threat of a live birth, abortionists just do a better job at killing the baby. Feticide is inhumane. It's the practice of injecting a substance into the heart of a little baby. They use potassium chloride to induce the death. Did you know that they've actually stopped using this method on animals, and they've actually stopped using it as the death penalty because of the pain it causes, yet the most smallest and innocent of human lives experience terrible pain in the lead up to their death. The law is abhorrent and it needs to change. In South Australia, we've had 2 recent attempts to save healthy babies. One bill by the Honourable Sarah Game to ban late-term abortion for social and mental reasons of the mother, and one bill by the Honourable Ben Hood to ensure that healthy, viable babies would be delivered instead of killed. These bills only narrowly lost in the upper house. Sarah Game's bill lost by 2 votes and Ben Hood's bill lost by 1 vote in the upper house. South Australia, let me tell you that so much is on the line at this election. This is where politics matters. I know that everyone who comes here who stands for life on a Saturday every year will vote for a pro-life politician or candidate. But could you do something else? Could you do something more over the next 6 weeks into the lead up to the South Australian election? The Australian Christian Lobby has developed a resource to inform you regarding who the pro-life members of Parliament are, and also, to the best of our knowledge, who the pro-life candidates are. It'll be impossible for us to know who every pro-life candidate is, but you could help us by asking the candidates in your electorate where they stand on the issue of life, and then inform us. Our resource is currently in the final stages of development, but it will be live at savotes.org.au very shortly, so keep that in mind. But here are some things that you could do. Could you stand at a polling booth for a pro-life candidate or help them campaign during the next 6 weeks? Could you take some SA Votes flyers and ask if you can hand them out at your church? Could you ask your pastor if ACL could come and address your congregation before the election? Could you contact candidates in your region and ask if they are pro-life? And could you tell your family and friends to check the pro-life credentials of their candidates before voting? You know, we have some very courageous pro-life members of the South Australian Parliament here with us today, and we also have a number of pro-life candidates. But for the sake of time, I'll only mention the sitting members in both houses, and I'll mention the upper house candidates that are present with us today, acknowledging there are some really good lower house candidates with us too. But the Honourable Frank Pangello is currently in the upper house, but he will be contesting a lower house seat for the Liberal Party in the seat of Waite at this election. Adrian Pedrick is the Liberal member for Hammond. In the upper house, we have the Honourable Ben Hood, MLC, up for re-election for the Liberals, and the Honourable Claire Scriven, MLC, up for re-election for Labor. And as for the candidates, we have Rowan Mumford, he's the pro-life candidate for Liberals. And for Family First, we have Deepa Matthew and Christopher Brochia contesting for a seat in the upper house. There are also some pro-life candidates in One Nation and Fair Go for Australians. But I'd like to mention that Family First are the only party running in the South Australian election whose party has a pro-life policy. But we honour all pro-life MPs and candidates across the parties. We need pro-life MPs across all the political spectrum. The things I mentioned that you could do is supporting the campaign of a pro-life candidate, handing out SA Votes flyers, asking your church to promote it. These are very practical measures. Contacting candidates in your region and asking if they are pro-life. But most importantly, we need to be praying that pro-life members of Parliament will be elected. But finally, I'd like to mention that we will be releasing a harrowing documentary in the coming months called Born Alive, Left to Die. This documentary will stir a generation to prayer and to action. More will be coming out about this, so please make sure you sign up to receive ACL's updates at acl.org.au. We'll be hosting screenings across the nation and opening it up for people to host their own screenings. So please take part in this generation-changing moment and stay informed. But God bless and thank you for coming out today.